Hello, hi, welcome to the MeteorHacks show. And this time, MeteorHacks show will be something very shorter because we only need to share the Kadria Debug, and you can play around with Kadria Debug, and we can have some offline discussion on how it works. Right. So let's before doing anything, let's start. Right. First, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. Right. If you got any issues with the sounds or something, just please right tell me. So now we are looking at the my browser. I hope everyone can see that. Right, I think we can see that. Okay, so basically Kadria Debug, okay, before that I need to show the repo. So it's on the GitHub, it's MeteorHacks/Kadria Debug. So if you go to the Kadria Debug, you can see like this kind of thing. Okay, so first you need to add the MeteorHacks Kadria Debug package into your Meteor app. So that's the only thing you need to do, and then you need to run your app. So let's assume it's running on port 3000. Okay, some port, and then you need to visit this new URL new.kadria.io/debug. So we will have a proper URL soon, but right now this is the URL. And then so we need to give the running my apps location, the locally running apps URL to this one and connect. Right now, so let's say 500 because we don't have any 500, so it's using some kind of this kind of interface because we don't see anything. But right now, I'm running I have a telescope app already installed the package and running on port 5001. So let's connect to that one. Okay, now let's try to open the browser tab on localhost port 5001. Okay, right. I have my telescope app. You already saw that some things appeared on the Kadria Debug screen. So I can click on things. I can go here and there. You can see the I'm receiving data. Right now, if you have two monitors, this will be very good. But I don't have a way to show you that, so I'm doing it the same window. So I can play around with that, so I can see the data appeared on my app on the Kadria Debug. So let's move this little tab, right? Then let's try to see what are these things like event stream, client activities, and so on. The first thing is event stream. So event stream is the stream that show all the events happening in your applications. Events are something like route changes, and subscriptions, and all the DDP messages received from the server, and even clicks. So if you do some click, and events and other things are also appeared on the event stream. And the activities are the places that actually the things running on your browser, something like something spending times to create the DOM elements, and like here like creating the views and destruction the views. Views are templates and all the other things like if each kind of things. So on the Blaze, so we call them views. So we have shown the time for the view creation, view destructions, and also we show the time for DOM creation and DOM discussion, and so other things. So so we real time collect this information. So you can click on this here and there and see. Right, that's not actually useful because showing data is not useful, but you need to interpret this data. That's why this gonna be very useful. So let's try to do that first. Okay, now I'm on the telescope homepage, and I'm going to this page and going here and there. So now I have a report on the Kadria Debug. So let's try to analyze that. The first, I think, right. So I have like there are a lot of time, like more than 1,000 milliseconds is spending on execution something on the place. That means like over one second. That means this list for the 1 second actually the more than 1 second is time is spending on doing stuff. So let's see actually what happens. Right, then if you see this event stream, actually what's happening is, so earlier I was at the route slash, that means on the home page of the telescope app. Then I have moved into the individual each post, and there are, so you can see there are a lot of time has been spent on to destroy views. So let's see what are those views. So views are like, you can show post list controller. So each elements, if basically these are the old stuff on the home page of Telescope. So those things need to be destroyed to render the like this individual page, sorry, this one, but that takes a lot of time. So that's why the slowness in my application. And the same time, when I'm the next time, let's say here, like, right, actually I'm looking at the different view. I don't have data for this. Right, anyway, okay, now this one. So I have moved to this slash out after this one. After going back to the home page, you can see there are some DOM creations spending on, but it's not costly like view destruction. So DOM creation is kind of 123 milliseconds, and you can see the menu item, post comments, or these are the things we're creating. So when I'm going back to the home page, so this is the very interesting feature of Kadria Debug, because you can actually now see what's going on in your application and on the client side as well, very in a very detailed way, and you can find out the stuff, and you can do anything with this information, and you can find out fine tune application. So in this case for the telescope, so let me show you the one optimization we can do to improve the telescope experience. And so one thing is the simple thing we can do is, right now we saw that like so when we are switching to the from this home page to the individual post page, so we saw some time spending on the view distractions and kind of thing. So that's, so we can simply avoid that. So there are two ways we can do that. So one thing is, after the initial view rendered, homepage renders, actually rather than the moving the total view into the post page, we can slide down this window, this list on the left hand side, and then we can show the uh, whatever the content. Or otherwise, so we can open the individual ports inside a model window. So then actually we don't need to destroy anything. We simply need to render this image, and it's very cheap. So that's the easiest thing I think we can do. And I think Sacha has some ideas to implement this one. I already saw some demonstration of how this gonna work. So that's it. That's something we can see. We can try to improve with the Kadria Debug. And now I'm trying to show you another thing. Right, we have bulletproof media. So there we have used this technique to improve the bulletproof media application, and let me show you that as well. This time I'm trying to, my bulletproof media app is running, the local version is running on localhost port, I think 5009. Okay, that's running on 5009. So let's connect to this one simply, right? So now I'm connected to the port 5009 from the Kadria Debug. Then I can, so now I'm in the home page. So let's try to go to this home page, right? I can see the data, okay. And then I can go to the leaderboard, and I can go back to the individual page kind of thing, okay. Right, so you can see now there are very few activities for the server side stuff happening on bulletproof media, because we have optimized in that way. So you can actually see messages actually going here and there. Okay, and let's try to move through a couple of pages. You can see, and you can start a few things, right? Okay, here actually the time is very the time for the distraction and all the blaze is spending very less amount of time, because actually we don't destroy anything. So when you're switching back between pages, actually all these elements, all these templates are static. That means, so they don't going to be destroyed, and all the actually individual data is only going to render. So they're doing that by looking at the query param. So not the query param, but the param on the URL, and fetch the data from the collections. And with that one, so we can make our template static in our static way, and we can do the rendering in a very nice way. So then we can render these down very fast way. And sometimes even actually we don't. So here we can, when we are going here and there, so we don't even load data from the server as well. So these are some of the few things we can use to improve our applications. And you can always use Kadria Debug to find out, like, it's okay to measure stuff, and you can see whether I have done any improvements or not, or rather, and also find out what's really going on. Yes, this is it, Kadria Debug, and I hope you can use that one and try to find issues in your application. So all you have to do is just go to this page, GitHub MeteorHacks slash Kadria Debug. So you just simply need to install the package, and that's the all you have to do. It's very straightforward. And if you need to look at how to do that one, watch this video or the YouTube instructions available on the Kadria Debug report. So that's all you have to do. All right. Okay. If you have any questions, all right, it's time to ask, I think. So we can hear on that. So then I'll try to answer a couple of questions on the here already. So one thing is, will this include any error notification related to airbag? So we will have errors inside the Kadria Debug soon, but right now we don't have any notification kind of thing. So it's simply running inside your local browser, and we don't even receive anything to the Kadria servers. So we don't get anything to the Kadria servers yet. Right, it would be nice. So there's another question. It would be nice for some analytic of uncode exceptions. Yes, yeah, actually we are tracking errors, and so this is very interesting. So that means once the error happens, so we can see this everything right now. So that's very interesting. Okay, yeah, we can consider that, of course. Yes. Right. I think we got an issue with new.kadria.io as HTTPS. I think the problem is the new.kadria.io URL is actually running on HTTPS version, but you need to use the HTTP version, because yeah, there's an issue with the, of course, the issue, because the Chrome and the Firefox does not allow us to use the page with HTTPS and HTTP kind of thing. But so you need to use the HTTP version of new.kadria.io/debug. So for that, I think you can write, because Chrome is cached in the URL thing, but once you hit the HTTPS version, all you have to do is just you need to clear the browser cache and try to go to the plain HTTP version, not the HTTPS version. I think that's gonna solve the problem. Yeah, that's it. So that's going to be fix the issue we should raise on here. All right, okay, and I'll show you some of the fact. I'll try to answer a couple of things. So you can also read this one, because I'll wait until we got some questions. Right. Oh, okay, this, right, yeah, okay. Okay, so how does this work? Because how Kadria Debug works, very simple actually. So you try to connect to your running Meteor app from directly from the DDP, from the Kadria Debug UI to the your app, directly use DDP, and we try to communicate with your browsers and kind of thing. That's how we can get the data, and we never send data to Kadria servers, and you don't need to worry about anything, like so we can't actually send that thing. And but we have a new feature, maybe later this year maybe, so we call remote debugging. So with that one, yeah, you can do a couple of stuff, but still, so this is a different approach. But so we never want to collect your this kind of data, because that will we can't handle that amount of load. Okay, Right. Does it affect performance of your application? Yeah, not necessarily, because Kadira debug is actually we are trying to aggregate things very in an efficient way, very efficient way. So you don't need to expect any kind of slowness just using Kadira debug. But even it could, because everything has some kind of cost. So you're not going to include this Kadira debug any code to your production bundle. So your production app is not going to affect for any of these things, because this is the debug only app. So it's working. So it's secure. So I think I have already answered that one. Yeah, open source, yes and no. So the UI is not open source, but all the source code. If you like, someone can build the UI, the alternative UI. Who knows? Right. And you don't need to even have a Kathra account. Simply you simply need to go to this page and start working. And this works with like cross browser. That means you can use this one on Chrome, Firefox, Safari, IE, any browser you like, and you can even work with multiple browsers as well. So that's a kind of cool thing with Kadra Debug. So because that's one of the benefit of not writing this as an extension, so we don't need to worry about that. So it works almost everywhere. Right. Okay, that's it. I think that's it. I think if you got any questions, simply go to the issues and submit one. So that's how we can communicate with us. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.